Well, U.S. dollar at a crossroad, euro dollar breaking out, and the yen, it could flip the switch on the board this week for potential breakout in euro dollar. Critical Bank of Japan data could rush dollar yen this week, could really shake things up. Stick around, everyone. I'm going to cover the weekly forecast for you. Welcome back, everybody. It's Tom from Park Avenue Trading, your chief dealer, keeping you sane in these insane markets. If you like what you see, smash the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with fellow traders who needs a heads up before Monday opens. Now let's get into the charts. All right, the euro dollar closed the week right around 1750. Bullish breakout. It's forming. This is a weekly. It's over the 50-week moving average. All right. As you know, I don't really trade with moving averages as much, but I do like to look to see where the market is. Look, it's well above the 50-week moving average. If I drop down to the dailies, of course, I'm going to be above the daily 50-day moving average as well. However, it's quite a bit closer, right? So there is room for the euro dollar to run, but we got the tariff situation that we got to worry about. So I want to go back to the weekly chart. We haven't seen these prices since October of 21. Right up in here, we haven't been up here since October of 2021, and that was on the way downward. Really, the euro dollar was actually crashing lower at that point. I'm going to take you over to that point on the chart so you can see exactly what I'm talking about on a weekly chart. If we come on over, look at this. This is where we were. Okay, January, okay? And right here, August of 21. And that was the downturn, after a slight rise, but right there was right here will be the target for us right now, 122.66. All right, but we got some wood to chop to get through that. If the European Union leaves July 9th unscathed, so we got this week to get through. So what are we talking about this week? All right, as it stands, if I come on over to the euro dollar right here, just using a simple 3-bar harmony, 1, 2, 3. This is the level that has to hold 113.70. So a failure and a close below this would confirm a bearish rejection back towards 110.74. All right. However, if we can get another push up and break above, say, I'm going to go like 119. This is a tight level. I would go to 119.55. If we can open the gates to 19, break through 119, say 55, it's opening up to that 122 that I just showed you. So we got to watch this one closely this week. Of course, during the week, I'll be doing the daily analysis, give the points that have to hold and actually the breakout points so we can get a better look. So let's come on over to good old sterling dollar. All right, sterling dollar stayed strong on the week, closing around 137.17 after breaking out of the range. Here was the range top. We would need 2 consecutive weeks of higher highs, but since we're talking about just coming in from, say, June 30th to July 4th, which will be a holiday in the U.S., but we won't see further evidence of the continued bull run until then. But they have their trade deal settled. So sterling is looking pretty strong. If we go back in time, we're also seeing the last time we were around these prices right around September 21. Before that, then there was the crash of sterling. So really the next level that we're looking for cable to come up to is this 139, say 140 level. And of course, there's the crown jewel at the top at 142.50. So cable seems to be looking pretty strong right now. If we look at the indicator, we had the MACD cross. Another MAC, we also now have bullish divergence still showing some strength in cable. Of course, again, momentum is hot, but a reversal would be swift in this. I don't really see that happening because I think it still has a bullish tendency this week. I think it can hit like 140.5 maximum on this week. So let's go 40-30 on the upside this week. I do think that it will be supported. If I look at price action, I could say, we could drift down to maybe 135.90 potentially, maybe. During the week as an extreme movement back down. But I do see cable is pretty well poised to continue. Bulls control. If we break up, a 138.55 is next. But the major extension is that 142.85. If 139, say 140 gets cleared. If the pair rolls over, like I said, you can look for a pullback towards 135.70. Or even like deeper. I don't really see it happening to like 134.90. I don't see it happening. Let's go on over to good old dollar yen. Dollar yen is in a wild card. It's been wreaking havoc on me all last week, and lots of false signals in it. And I got clipped a few times. It actually gave me some great profits in the beginning of the week and took them all back by the end of the week. It's just a crazy, crazy week. So we showed a sharp drop to, where did we go last week? We went to 143.74 on July 26th, just on, was that Friday, I guess, right? And then it re-rallies, Thursday. And then it re-rallies Friday, it goes back to 145, almost 145 the figure, went to 144.94. So, like I said, it's the wild card. Industrial production's out on tonight. It comes out on tonight, so we can get to see what's going on with Japan, if they're going to actually raise rates. We got Tankan study July 1st, household spending July 4th, which we will be closed for. So if the yen catches a bid, the U.S. dollar could, actually break that 143.75 and head for the 142.50. On the flip side, weak data could launch it more towards like I'm going to say maximum it could probably run us to like 146.5, 147 this week. I don't really see it really taking off. So that's what we got going on in dollar yen. Here's the critical price for the week. Right now it stands right at 142.75. We went down to 143.73. I was kind of convinced that we were going to do it. I thought that the market was going to break it. So I shorted it a few times and ended up eating crow. But I'll have better points, as I said, during the week. So make sure you come by the channel, check out the daily market analysis. As you can see, we've been to this point probably pretty close. We were here recently in September of 24. Hasn't been such a big distance as we have in the euro dollar and the sterling dollar. Like it's been a couple of years, actually 4 years since we had these prices. So things are heating up. Got to pay attention to his history. Looks like those currencies are right now buoyed to take off. So let's go on over to good old sterling yen. All right, so let me get over to the weekly chart on sterling yen. Let's check it out. Okay, where are we on this bad boy? Let's go to here. Let's go to right here. Let me clean this up. All right. Checking out sterling yen against the U.S. dollar index. I want to point out the U.S. dollar index has broken a bottom on a weekly. It's closed below it. We would need this week to actually close to actually confirm the structure that we're heading down to the 94.72. There is a kind of interesting correlation because there are two things that are working in this cross itself. We got the British pound and we got the dollar yen. Now, if dollar yen really drops hard and cable doesn't rally corresponding to like what's happening, that would force the cross lower. I don't really see that happen. I think that it sterling yen has caught a bid, so if I do dollar yen versus this, which would be better, we could see the direct correlation of this. As you see, as the yen picks up strength, you can see right here that, the index fell. Now the yen is actually starting to get weaker, and the index actually broke and closed below because of sterling and euro dollar. So if I put up good old sterling dollar, look at sterling dollar, look at where it is. I mean, look at here, it was the complete fall. You see the top, yet now look, if we come right here, it sterling starting to lead in the cross. This is what I'm trying to show you. Sterling dollar is actually starting to lead in the cross. It's been for the longest time that the yen has been leading. So let's get back to good old sterling yen. We'll talk about where we are at. If we look at sterling yen, this is the peak that we gotta pop through, like 200. That's the point. Okay, we haven't been here since when? Not too long ago, because dollar yen itself. We haven't been here since, say, October of 24. Okay, so we're threatening. So where is the support? It's down here at 193.90. We had a major support at 192. If you've been following me, I've been talking about like 193.25 or 192.25. We had a really strong support there, and it fiddled around that, and finally it's broken. Now, again, I don't mean to keep saying it. During the week, I'll have great points to basically try to scoop cable or sell it, for a quick, 100 points if we can get it. But here's the two levels that it has to get over right now. Let me put little circles right there. Here's the first level that we're just getting through, and here's the second level that we need to break through and close above to show that we're going back up into this. Now, I have a system I like to call like pattern interrupt. So if I look at this as I'm approaching, I go, if I look at 1, 2, 3, that's the real point for me. That would say that there's a pattern interrupt on the weekly, and cable sterling yen is going much higher, maybe 210. Back to, what was the all-time low we had back then? We had 208. Yeah, we could revisit 210 at that point. Let's move on over to euro yen. All right, euro yen critical price. Actually, sorry, I got to move this up one. No, actually, it's right here. Sorry, right there. 164.35. Quite a distance away. Hang on a second. Let me make sure I got that right. Sorry, that's the point. 166. All right, we're quite a distance away. We're almost at 170. We broke through this top here on the weekly. We got two consecutive higher closes. Two consecutive higher closes. We also have two consecutive upward pushes. That's actually showing a really bullish tendency for this. So I'm actually going to put the critical price right there, 167, brings us a little bit closer, 200 points closer. Doesn't mean that if it breaks this, it's going down. It's still an uptrending market. At that point, it would be in a downward slope. However, euro yen looks pretty strong right now. I'm thinking that we're heading towards like right up here, 172.15. Again, during the week, I'll have better points that we can get long, we can get short at. But that's what I got going for you guys on the crosses, euro yen, sterling yen. All right, so we got catalyst this week. We got U.S. job reports, non-farm payroll, huge impact on dollar strength. We got Japan's macro data storm, Bank of Japan pivot speculation. We'll find out all about it. They've been holding off for a while. We got ISM services, wage growth, Fed speakers, all eye on inflation signals. So there's your week kind of forecast in advance. Sterling dollar seems bid. Euro dollar seems bid. Dollar yen is the wild card. It's neither bid nor offered. It's kind of like it's going to make a move, that's for sure. But I just don't have a clear direction on it. Sterling yen is bid. Euro yen is bid. And gold has kind of cooled off a little bit. All right, so that's your Forex Weekly Outlook for June 30th to July 4th. Drop a comment. Let me know what pair you're watching this week. Until next time, until tomorrow, actually Monday when I do the daily update, stay sharp, trade smart, and always keep it locked here at Park Avenue Trading. Cheers.